So this Pax Day video is a little different. It's not a guide. You're not going to find anything useful. This is just going to be a rant video. Why make videos on a game you dislike? And I just want to take a moment and talk to you guys out of the channel's characters. So we're going to just, park the SwoleBenji persona away for a little bit and talk to you as, the person behind the screen here. And just explain, what is the hate? Why, it's not that I dislike the game or anything of the matter. It's way deeper than that, and I'm going to fully explain it. So if you've got, something to eat, or you're listening to this in your car or whatever, then just sit back. There's not going to be anything going on the screen. I'm not going to have any visuals for you. So this is purely a me talking and you listen video, and enjoy. So where to start? So Pax Dei is a game that I had been wanting to play for ages. Even before Pax Dei was ever announced, I had this idea in my head that I wanted to play a game that would combine the coziness of, say, Animal Crossing and, Farmville games with the PvP and raidability of Rust, maybe Albion Online, some kind of MMORPG like New World. And Pax Dei, really spoke kind of, it was giving promise or giving hope that it could be maybe one day that type of game, that you could have all the cozy girl gamers and the the normies that would just sit around and decorate a house, kind of like this guy that made a lunch hall or something. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. I've never seen the owner online to talk to him about it. But at the same time, if you wanted the rare and epic decorations, you would have to go and slay dragons or go into PvP zones or do anything really kind of kooky and crazy like that. And that's always been a dream game that I've always wanted to see made. So I was way excited when Pax Dei entered the scene, right? So I showed massive support over a year ago for this game, but unfortunately I was completely ignored by the devs and the staff entirely. And here's the thing, right? I have worked non-stop on my YouTube channel for over 5 years. I think it's been 6 years now. And this is not my first YouTube channel. I've been doing this for a very long time. And I've been working on this channel for 19 hours a day, right? I want you to just kind of put yourself in my shoes for a moment. And my shoes are filled with holes, and I haven't replaced my shoes in about 10 or 12 years. I've been wearing the same pair. And building an MMO channel with the stats that I have now, almost any game dev, especially in the MMO space, would be really stupid not to just bend over backwards and accommodate me. And I'm not trying to say that as an elitist. I'm saying that as, it's literally the dumbest thing you could do, right? Why? It's really puzzling to me why that they didn't do this initially or for any reason. And I can't understand why. So not only have I been completely ignored by the game devs through Steam and Discord, I have also sent them emails to their work emails. And for those that don't know, that have never worked in an office setting or anything of the sort, what you normally do is you sit down at your office cubicle, your computer, and you check your emails. And yes, I managed to figure out the employees' emails that work at Mainframe, and I sent them emails. I sent a lot of people emails, and I've never heard anything back. I've also found their personal emails, as in when they're outside of work. What is their email address? Well, I did a lot of digging, and I did find that, and I've sent them emails to their personals as well. And throughout all of this, I have not heard a single thing back. I've even put in support tickets, and they just get closed. They don't even get answered. They just get closed. But to top everything off, I was unfairly banned on the Steam forums for simply voicing a few concerns about the game. I did not break any rules. I did not use any harsh language. I've even made a video showing everything that I've posted in their Discord, which I was also banned from, which is weird. It's they're not banning other people that are legitimately breaking rules, doxing people, using harsh language, and other illegal activity. But they just ban me because someone somewhere on the dev team just doesn't like me, and that's okay. It's okay if the dev team doesn't want me to play their game and they don't like me. And I'll get to more of that in a bit. But first, even though I have put so much work into the MMO niche, and I have over 100,000 subscribers, which, to be fair, as a YouTuber, a lot of people don't realize this. Subscribers are a vanity metric and don't really matter at all. What really matters is the monthly views that your channel gets, and what matters even more is the monthly long-form views that you get over short views. Because if you just spam shorts, you're basically TikTok. But essentially, I managed to get 1 million monthly views, sometimes more, most of the time more. I'm being very generous here, in the niche. And these numbers are, it dwarfs, as in it is much higher than almost everybody interested in this game. There are larger creators, of course there are. There's always someone bigger, but I would say like all of the creators that were like in the streamer event or that had showed any kind of interest in the game, I would say like 5 people were bigger than me. Like 5 people were bigger than me on monthly view count or subscribers or whatever. But every single creator that was spotlighted for the creator events, that was, highlighted by the game devs, to show off the game, none of them are playing the game anymore. None of them continued to make videos. They all dropped the game literally immediately after they took the bag, which means they took the money to cover the game. None of them play this game. None of them support the game, and only a few of them had numbers better than mine. And I would be fine if any of like the devs, or the game company, whoever, just reached out and told me why. Told me why I'm being ignored, uninvited, not given a copy of the game, despite other creators with like 300 subscribers and like 2,000 monthly views getting a 4-plot copy or a $100 worth of the game, but it gets worse, right? It gets so much worse. Then you have even smaller creators. I'm talking people with like 40 followers on Twitch with no YouTube channel at all, and their streams get like 7 viewers and their VODs get no views. They are getting mailed gift baskets from the developers, and this is all on Twitter, but like these creators and the ones that I looked up, like there's one guy who he plays Star Citizen, and he's got like 2,000, followers, which is fine. That's fine. I don't care. And his VODs get an okay amount of views, 700 here, 400 there. That's still fine. But like he played Pax Dei a few times, maybe 3 or 4, not even like 5 or 6 times. Very short streams, and he's mostly, again, a Star Citizen streamer. And he gets like a gift kit, like a physical thing that they mail to his address, with like little gift boxes and cool memorabilia and stuff, and it's like, to me, it just hurts. It's like, why does he get a gift box for the game? And all I can do is speculate. Is like it's probably because he's a secret employee of the company, masquerading as a streamer or a YouTuber. And I hate to think that way, but this is not the first time game devs have done this crap. Amazon is guilty of it. New World, Lost Ark is extremely guilty. I have so much evidence on Lost Ark that these little streamer girls who are somehow the creator, liaisons of sort with 7 viewers on their streams and no following at all. How are they in charge of literal titans? They don't have alternate channels. They work for the company. Like, they literally work for the company. And that's what I think that all of these people that got gifts that are masquerading as streamers and YouTubers actually did, right? I don't want to get too much into this, but it's every single like streamer and content creator that are contracted by Pax Dei to chill the game, not talk about bugs or glitches. That's pretty standard. If you watched any of my, for those that have watched my channel for a long time now, if you watched my, what is it called, Skull and Bones videos, you'll notice that they were very vanilla, very mid to positive. I didn't get too negative. I didn't tear into the devs too much about how the game sucked. I didn't really rant and rave and rage out and spurg out and stuff. Essentially, I was as fair as I could be with the game. The game absolutely blows. It's a terrible game, but you don't see me, like, making rage videos about it like I am with Pax Dei, right? And that's because I, was in the partner program, and they gave me the game for free, thankfully, and I did win a contest where I got, a bunch of game keys and stuff like that. So I didn't tear them up too bad, and I refrained from posting videos that showed all the exploits, like dupe methods and ways to just get infinite money and resources immediately, the most exploitive ways to just skip entire parts of the game, and how to, like, one-shot enemy players and basically sink their ship and then, like, glitch them out so they couldn't respawn kind of stuff. I withheld all of that stuff, but for Pax Dei, I am not contracted, and so I don't have to withhold that stuff. And though I do withhold a lot of stuff, there's a lot of really mean things you can do in Pax Dei that I feel like if I made videos about that, it would just really kill the game out completely. Like, the player count would drop to, like, 3 digits if I made these videos, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to teach anyone how to completely screw over the game, even though it's really easy to do. Alright, and, because if the game dies, then all my videos die, and then the future of the game dies, and I don't want that. And just to be fair, I just want to make sure that you guys know, like, bigger channels that are actively covering the game and making guides. You got the Kims, you got Invader Kim, you got Damone Kim. Why are they both Kims? I don't know. But you know, they're doing their part. They're getting the SEO, they're getting the search results, they're trying to help people out. They're making guide vids, whatever. And I know, you know, you can go on Damone Kim's Twitch stream, and he's got a literal link to buy the game that is a affiliate link, and that's totally fine, right? You know, get that bag, right? He deserves it, I guess. But essentially, what I'm not okay with is when you have like a YouTuber or you know, a Twitch streamer with like 300 subscribers, and they get like 200 views a month, and they're getting the same treatment, but not me. Why am I, like, make it make sense, right? Like the same guy on Twitter I talked about earlier. He also announced at the time that he was doing a giveaway of the $100 version of the game. So of course, like, I'm very resourceful. I grew up in the ghetto. I'm going to talk more about that later, but I'm a very resourceful guy. So I went on Twitter and I've been constantly looking at everyone, all of the paid sponsored, like, you know, streamers and YouTubers doing giveaways. And they do it through like Gleam.io and stuff. And channel members know that I'm very resourceful when it comes to giveaways. So I basically, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have hundreds of accounts, and I can just go basically drive around the neighborhood and hook up to Wi-Fi's and you know all that stuff. And I've won almost every single giveaway for the $100 copy of the game. So what this means is essentially, I can just load these copies onto alt Steam accounts and have infinite plots, and have the biggest mega mansion ever, if I wanted to. But I don't care about building these little meme houses, and you know, this one here doesn't look too bad, right? It's a nice looking, it's got a little parking lot kind of thing going on, it's very even, but it serves no game purpose. I don't need 20 million plots. But you know, the spiteful part of me is like, you know what I'm going to do with these copies of the game? Absolutely nothing. I am going to sit on them, never redeem them. And so the devs, I know Steam devs can check and see like, oh, well, we just did a giveaway with this channel and this channel and this channel. Why aren't the winners redeeming the game? And well, I've won, like I said, I've won nearly all of those giveaways, and there's so many, right? So the way I see it is twofold. I won the giveaway so that no one else gets it. It's kind of like a dragon hoarding strategy. It's a very poverty ghetto strategy, but at the same time, it's like I want the devs to know and feel the burn that. How do I say this? I want them to feel the burn that people want to give away and they can't even be asked or bothered to install or even redeem the code. And you know, maybe they'll watch this video and realize, oh, it's freaking SwoleBenji. You know, he won the giveaways, just invalidate the game codes, whatever. But you know, it's kind of petty of me at the same time. But no, it's like I feel like I had to do this. Whereas if they just talk to me and don't ignore me, I don't have to resort to these stupid things. Like, I feel extremely mistreated. I feel like why are the devs treating me like this? Why am I ignored? Why am I shunned? Why am I discluded? Why am I ostracized? Did I gank one of the developers in World of Warcraft and they got super salty about it? I mean, most of the devs don't even play video games. We've done that research. Are they biased because I'm in the western part of the world? Are they biased because I'm poor? Like, I would be completely fine if they just told me why. But it's been complete radio silence. Now, I just want to talk about a little bit, like, I grew up and I still am in the ghetto. And when people wrong you in the ghetto, we don't let that slide. That's not how things work in the ghetto. I get it if you're, like, in a rich neighborhood, you grew up in a nice posh family, that, oh, you know, they forgot the burger patty on my Big Mac or something, right? I mean, you can't really use, like, you know, fast food as an example, but, like, if someone steals, like, your yo-yo and you're a rich kid, you're just like, Mom, someone stole my yo-yo, buy me a new one. Well, when you're a poor kid and someone steals your yo-yo, you don't get another yo-yo. You don't just go to the store and buy a replacement. You hunt the kid down that stole it from you, and you steal back. You beat him up, and I'm not advocating violence here. I'm saying what happens in the ghetto is what happens. You beat him up so he never steals from you again, and then you blacklist his entire family from ever seeing you coming over for barbecue visits or what. We don't even get barbecues in the ghetto. Like, that's like landowner stuff. That's like people that own houses and have backyards and money to afford meat. I haven't eaten meat in like a month. I've been sustaining myself off beans, rice, and the occasional egg. Egg doesn't count as a meat. It's a dairy product, okay? I don't know why it counts as dairy, but that's just how it's categorized by the government or something. So, of course, when, the devs treat me like this, and I don't believe I've deserved this treatment. Most of my actions are after the fact, right? So, of course, I will let my real feelings and thoughts on the matter be consistently brought up and to remind everyone that isn't living in La La Land, who's hyper-privileged rich kids that live in two-story double-decker homes in a nice gated community with supportive, wealthy families, the actual reality of the game and the developers. Let's pivot just a bit here. I just want to talk about, well, why do you make video? If you don't like the game, you don't like the devs, go play something else. That I always get asked that all the time, and I'll explain. I'll just explain it to you, all right? So, essentially, why do I make guide videos then? Why not just trash the game every chance I get? Why am I flip-flopping between, oh, the game's dying, and oh, here's how to make a cool base? So, number one, I do this so I can rank my videos high enough and rub it in the developer's face who choose to leave me out in the cold rain, that even without their support, without their help, I can still rise above the rest of the paid shills and the fake streamer YouTubers that and make them feel the regret in the future of ignoring such a hard-working treasure trove of information and quality assurance testing, because that's what we're doing. I'm essentially a hyper-vigilant quality assurance tester, all right? Also, the rage that is generated from being neglected by the devs and ignored is a fuel. It's a motivator. And by ranking my videos higher than the fakes, it's basically a no to the devs and the fakes. Number two, I am hella poor. I am extremely poor in the real world, and I rely on the game to succeed, to survive. Alright, if for whatever reason, in the future, Pax Dei pops off, which they have the venture capitalist backing, and they have NVIDIA backing, and a bunch of other... There's a lot of big money, a lot of old money, and a lot of powerful people backing this game. And so if you think it's just going to fizzle out and die, that's not the truth. These guys are going to dump another 1 to 2 million or more into advertising in the future. It's going to bring in more people playing the game, more people searching YouTube for guides on how to play the game. All right, and I will have a bunch of vids that people will watch, and I'll hopefully maybe make bill payments if, enough people are pulled into the game, and hopefully afford something else to eat besides beans and rice. So a recent happening of this exact scenario is the downloadable content for Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a massively popular game with a huge advertising budget, right? And the DLC recently dropped for the game. The player count shot up to 300,000, and videos that I had made years ago are now getting viewed again. And quite a lot of people that are returning to the game don't remember how to play the game, because that's what happens when you uninstall a game for 1 to 2 years. You literally forget the controls and how to play and where to go and what to do. And my videos are getting like a huge bump in views of my old Elden Ring content. And so I hope that maybe Pax Dei will bloom in the future, and that's why I'm making all of these videos. And if it doesn't bloom, at least I tried, all right? Number 3 is that one of my biggest regrets when I was younger, when I was a kid, a teenager even, was spending thousands of hours playing video games, and I did not retain my knowledge and information and power that I had worked so hard to obtain at the time. So I want to be able to return to a game 10 years later and retain just some knowledge or power. An example of this is when I played Age of Empires 2 back in the day. I was a very highly rated, very skilled player. This is back when Age of Empires 2 was on the MSN Gaming Zone. You have to be really old to know what that is, okay? And I was a very high ELO player, but because I didn't make too many text guides, I was a text guide creator. I did game facts guides and wrote articles for websites back in the day. Yes, as a kid and a teenager, I wrote articles, I know. I didn't get paid for them. It was just purely out of, it was my hobby, so I just did it. I wasn't aware that people got paid to host websites. Yeah, I was very uneducated on the matter. Anyway, and so video guides back that far wasn't a thing. It was insanely hard to make a video, and I didn't have knowledge of making videos, and you had to download, codecs to even watch videos. It was a real pain in the butt. So I didn't get to retain all of those hours that I put into the game, because when I returned to play Age of Empires 2, 15 to 20 years later, I don't know how long it was exactly, I'm getting dominated by like 1250 elo scrubs. And I put so much hours back in my youth, I refuse to waste any more time putting hours into a game I had already played. So by making these Pax Dei guide videos, I can retain some of the knowledge and information and get some of the time spent back so that it's not completely wasted if I want to return to this game years later. All right, number 4 is pretty basic. I like attention. I mean, I think everyone likes attention. That's why we go to the gym. That's why we wear, different types of clothes. But I'm also sadistic, and I do enjoy negative attention, and so being negative does get me that negative attention. When I see, like, someone made a Steam thread, that Swole guy, and there's like 2 or 3 pages of people hating on me. I love that. It makes me smile. It makes me very giddy, very happy. But I just want to mention, besides sadism, I'm basically a time vampire. So when I make guide vids explaining the real ways to do stuff, exploits and, whatnot, these videos that just cut the cheese immediately and tell you how to beat the game, it pisses off the normies, it pisses off the Redditors, it pisses off the guildies. And I take great fun in being a minor inconvenience to them, especially being a minor inconvenience to guilds who want to monopolize the game and hoard all the secrets for themselves, especially in full loot PvP MMORPGs. And I feel very strongly about sticking up for my fellow solo players, because I don't socially fit in with people, I don't mesh well with most people, and so I want to stick up for people in my situation who can't join guilds, who won't join guilds, who don't want to have to group up with people and feel some guild master's virtual greed and be left out in the rain when they eventually get G-kicked because they like pineapple on pizza or something, right? So I get to help out my fellow bros, and I get to piss off the opposition. What is not to like about that? Now, tying into the first point, I have no other option to escape poverty. I literally have to do YouTube. There is nothing else that I can do to make ends meet in the real world, all right? So working retail or fast food, which is all I'm qualified for my entire life, is not a living. And I've tried to climb the ladders, and that did not end well, because I have too much justice running through my blood, and so when someone shoplifts at a store, I stop them, and you're not allowed to do that, so you get fired. And it's just not for me, okay? So, neither of these, even if I do become the manager again of a grocery store, a retail store, fast food place, it's not ever going to allow me to escape poverty, and I'll explain. Nothing I can do can get me an educational certification in the part of the world that I live, or a better paying or more secure job than YouTube. And so YouTube isn't really secure, but it does have the potential to be. So let me explain by using Asmongold as an example. So Asmongold, if he sits on his ass all day, he doesn't stream, he doesn't do any YouTube videos, he does absolutely nothing. He makes more money in a single day, just doing nothing, than I can make in 3 years' time. And yeah, he has a rich dad with connections that got him there and stuff, but if I could just get a fraction of what he has, just a tiny little, like a little crumb, like a little rice grain, just a single rice grain of what he's got, okay, then I can make it, right? Then it's worth trying to achieve it, if I can just get a crumb of what he has. As any other normal means of success is impossible. And I'll explain. I can't get the educational certifications. I have no generational wealth. I have no connections. I have no friends. I have no family. I have no way to acquire alternative useful skills like being a tradie. Okay? And the place that I live in has a lack of opportunity to escape, and I can't just up and move to a better place. That's not an option. That requires money, resources, a whole lot of other things, all right? So now, number 6, part of being a YouTuber, besides, maybe being able to eat something better than beans and rice, it's one of my only potential ways for someone like me to make friends or find like-minded people I can get along with. And that's why I inject so much personality into my videos. If I only care about giving you the info, here's the best way to make money in MMORPG number 7, that's all the video would be. But no, I go on a rant, I go on a tirade, I go on a huge spurg fest to filter out the Redditors and the normies who don't like that kind of attitude, who don't like that kind of persona, all right? And what is going on here? We got it's free. Okay. Someone's building a little freebie base. But essentially, what am I getting at here? This being a YouTuber is what I've been like. The main reason I wanted to do YouTube is to make friends, because you always like tune into YouTube, you watch a Rust compilation, like one guy's got like 20 friends and they have a cool base and they do cool things together, and I want that. I want that more than eating better than beans and rice. I want that more than moving from an apartment to a house or a new car or whatever. Even if I lived in the slums in the ghetto my whole life, if I could just have friends while I lived here, that would be more than enough. You know, I don't have too much time left, and if I can just make some friends and have some good times, make some good memories, then that's fine with me, and that's why I started YouTube in the first place. So maybe if I make vids for this game, I can find cool people to play with, and that's what makes gaming worth the time invested. I'm going to tell you right now, and a lot of people don't want to hear this, especially because you're all gamers, because that's why you're watching. Gaming is a waste of time. If you are not socializing or making memories in a video game, you are wasting your time. You are absolutely wasting your time, right? And, oh, but I got all the pixels. I got the best gear in the game. In 10 years, no one cares. No one cares that I was a top 0.2% in Halo 2 in skill. No one cares about my pro gaming Halo days. No one cares that in World of Warcraft Classic, I was the second highest gear scored horde rogue in the world. No one cares about this stuff. They just care about the dumb memories they had. Like in arcades, they all dressed up like pirates as level 1 pirates and did slash dance around the noob zones talking like a pirate. And doing the weird rose throwing emote. That's a memory. No one cares that you raced to Arcanist and was able to be one of the top PvPers, you know, during the very early vanilla launches of the first arcade server. Sadly, you know, I wish it was reversed, but that's just not the world we live in. But sadly, being a YouTuber has not worked for making me any friends, and I don't know if it's the games that I've chosen to play, because it's really hard to find friends in, like, say, Albion Online, or World of Warcraft due to how, like boxed in you are on servers, and even New World, right? Like, I just haven't had any success. I am aware, I am totally 100% aware that this is a me problem, but I refuse to pretend to be something that I'm not, all right? I am who I am based on the environment that I grew up in and my experiences in life, and I'm not just going to pretend to be a normie, okay? I pretended to be a normie during the World of Warcraft Classic phase. It got me geared, and it was one of my bucket lists to achieve that kind of gear in that amount of time. But it was completely and utterly soul-destroying to be a normie and fit in with other normies. For those that have followed my channel since way back then, which not a lot of people have, because that was the birth of my channel, essentially, I, 3 days after dropping my normie persona and showing my SwoleBenji persona, I was G-kicked out. Like, 3 days, that's all it took, right? 3 freaking days, man. Did not like, and I was like the top parser, the top contributor. I did everything for everyone that I could, but it just wasn't enough. You know, it was my opinions and whatnot. They just didn't want me around, and well, it sucks for them. It's their loss, but whatever. I got the year, so see you later. All right, but again, you know, I just want to make friends. Anyway, so from research, it does seem that like Twitch might be a more successful platform to make friends, because through my endless and tireless research, Twitch streamers tend to make more friends than YouTubers. It also seems like they tend to get more attention from the developers. Like if I had even a small Twitch channel, maybe the devs would be giving me the Pax Dei gift baskets and, you know, giving me copies of the game and affiliate links and stuff. But I don't like Twitch. I have always said this. I hate Twitch's dumb rules. I hate that you're not allowed to stream snipe. I am, at heart, a stream sniper. It's like, I was even banned for a week on Albion, one of the only people ever banned in the game's history for stream sniping. That's how much the devs in that game hate me. Oh man, I love it, dude. Those guys, like, if my name gets dropped on the Albion dev streams, they like take off their glasses and facepalm and they cringe, and it immediately ruins their mood. And that's mildly amusing to me. I just find that super funny, right? And so part of the persona is to cultivate the same thing towards Pax Dei. Like if Pax Dei devs are doing a live stream and they mention SwoleBenji, I just want to see them like just fold mentally, right? Okay. But at the same time, more so, I would rather just have them be on my team or me be on their team rooting for them and have it be positive. But that's just simply not the case. And I don't know what it is I've done or didn't do to deserve such treatment, right? But also, besides Twitch's dumb rules, like, you can't cheat in video games. Like, clearly, if I wanted to load up Fortnite and spin bot or something, which I don't do, but if I wanted to, you're not allowed to do that. You are allowed to do it on YouTube, but you're not allowed to do it on Twitch. And I'm a very freedom kind of seeker. I like freedom of speech, freedom of life, freedom of choice, all of that kind of stuff. And for Twitch to say, oh, you can't cheat. Well, what if I just open Cheat Engine and I'm playing a single-player game and I hack my stats? Well, I can't do that. Can't do that on Twitch. Sorry. You're also not allowed to say certain words on Twitch. I'm a very wordy guy. I like to say certain words, especially Zoomer speak, like fam, Ohio, Rizzler, etc. Even though you don't really see that in the videos. I do that in real life. Like, I will, like, troll a drive-thru at, like a fast food place and use Zoomer speak, even though I am not a Zoomer. I am a millennial. But anyway... the point is that I refuse to use Twitch for anything other than just chatting with people. I don't stream on there. So to wrap things up, like, I don't know. But yeah, to summarize, I don't know. I don't like being ignored. And let me explain to you being ignored as a troll, because that's what I am. I'm a troll. And even though I said, oh, I'm a time vampire, I'm a time vampire troll, whatever, who cares? You can multi-class, okay? The point is that as a low-level troll, if you ignore the troll, it go away. As a deity-level, cataclysmic, omega-level troll, being ignored only, like, turns you... Like, say I'm a raid boss. Being ignored just basically pops the enrage timer immediately. You can't ignore the troll. Alright, and that's what they've done. They have completely ignored the troll. And it'll come down to the point where if Pax Dei ever holds, like, a real-life, like, convention, like, say there's an anime or a video game convention somewhere in the West... And there's a little Pax Dei booth. Oh, you bet your ass. I'm gonna fire up a video recorder, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna do a little something. I might jump on the table and, hey, remember that guy that went to McDonald's and he was like, "Where's my Szechuan sauce?" And he like wrapped his shirt over his head and he stood on the counter and then he like pitched a big fit. See, that guy's just trolling. He's not seriously like affected by a damn Rick and Morty sauce. Whereas I'm not truly affected either by a developer ignoring me in a game with only 3,000 people actively playing. But I will still make the memory of doing something similar because it's funny and it's not really against the law, and people will love it and hate it at the same time. So I get that duality going, right? And, or the devs can just be like, hey, sorry, one of our, whatever her name was, I think Mary, oops, she dropped the ball. She Googled your name and saw some Reddit posts that weren't so nice, but it turns out those were just trolls. Those are just fake posters, on Albion, just spewing random bullcrap that's not even true. And we apologize, and here's a free game key, and here's an affiliate link, and thank you so much for covering our game. Then I turn into a nice guy. Like, you want to know how to defeat the Omega level cataclysmic super troll? All you have to do is be nice to them. You just slightly be nice. It doesn't even have to be an overly nice gesture. Just the smallest amount of kindness immediately defeats the raid boss. Right? That's all you have to do. And like people like us trolls, we are very loyal people. We will die for you if you're nice for us. If you're nice to me, even in real life, and someone pulls out a knife and tries to mug us, I will fight to the death for your safety, even if I've only met you for like 5 minutes. That's how autismally loyal of a person I am. And so if the Albion devs showed me even like a sprinkling of kindness at all, or any kind of acknowledgement whatsoever, then my entire mood and opinion and demeanor completely changes. Like, Albion Online, they've ignored me for years, but at one point, the CEO of the company actually replied to a tweet. And I know he was being cheeky. I asked him, hey, the game would do so much better and have so many more people playing if you added voice chat, like proximity voice chat. Him being cheeky was like, okay, well, name some RPGs where that was a thing that happened. And of course, it's not a thing that happened. Like, New World has voice chat, it died. PlanetSide 2 had voice chat, it died. And so I think he's just proving a point to try to make me look bad. But just the sheer fact that he talked to me and didn't ignore me was more than enough for me to stop making, Albion Online sucks, don't install, this game's bad, here's like Stillfront stock reports, they're dying company, etc., etc. And so if Mainframe, if Pax Dei devs just simply just acknowledge me, just like part of me is like, did I die? Am I a ghost? Am I in a padded room? Is this all make-believe? Is the internet even real? Like, if the devs just show a little bit of humanity and just talk to me, just send me an email, just something, anything, that would change me completely. Even if you don't, like, just tell me why. Why am I ignored? Why am I shunned? Why am I excluded? Just tell me why. I'll move on. But the reality is I have to move on anyway. The game simply doesn't have anything for me to latch on to. Like, if I continue to cover this game, I will literally be Damone Kim homeless. And I'm not joking. Like, this game does not pay the bills. This game does not get the views. So I have to move on to a game that gets the views and can pay the bills. And a lot, one thing also I've noticed, and you could search Pax Dei on Twitter and click latest. It's all, like, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. It's almost entirely Southeast Asian dominated. I don't know why that is. It's also a little bit of French, for whatever reason, I guess. I have no clue why. But there's almost no English-speaking anything going on Twitter for this game. And because of that, you know, for those that don't realize, when you're a YouTuber, you rely on ads for your videos to make any kind of money. Well, for video games, it's the lowest paid niche. And you get views based on how popular the game is. If I made videos for Fortnite or Roblox, I would get so many more views. But advertisers also pay based on where the views are coming from. Sadly, views from Southeast Asia, which includes India, sadly, does not pay well at all. It pays, like, pennies, okay? But if I get views from Germany and United States, Canada, and Australia, it can be $2 to $3 per 1,000 views. And sadly, the views that I'm getting for this game are most likely just Albion viewers that are bored because they're bored of the game. They want to see something similar to Albion, which would be a big boost to the devs. You know, the devs are like, oh, we want the other MMORPG audience. We want the full PvP audience. We want the Albion audience. But they don't want it bad enough because they didn't include me in that plan. And sadly, their game, you know, because the majority of views are coming from Southeast Asia, I don't like, if I make up like 10 videos, no, let's say I make 50 Pax Dei videos, and they each get like 2,000 to 3,000 views. Well, those 2,000 to 3,000 views times 50, whatever, you know, times 2 to 3 cents or 20 cents, versus a Starfield vid. One Starfield vid gets 10,000 views, and the vids is worth $2 to $5 per 1,000 views. Well, that one Starfield vid just is worth 50 Pax Dei vids. And like I said, I'm poor. Most YouTubers and streamers are just rich kids. They're very rich and privileged kids. They can just sit around all day. They have, like, generational wealth. They don't have to worry about bills or healthcare or eating to survive. Whereas I do. And so my time is limited on this game anyway. Eventually, I have to move on. But gosh darn it, I'm going to just either piss off everybody or get a damn response from the devs until I do. So that's the vid. Thank you for watching. And it's very rare that I do out-of-character videos like this, but I just wanted to explain the situation and why my videos are shaped and, like, acted the way they are. And, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like. It helps the algorithm, I guess. Also, leaving a dislike helps because it counts as, what is it? Interaction, and YouTube loves that. So, but do leave a like. I don't know, man. It just helps my mentality or something. Not that it matters. I have a very strong mentality where if a video gets a bunch of dislikes, it's very humoring. It's very funny to me. I flex it with other YouTubers. Like, look how many dislikes I got on this Lost Ark video. And they're like, all you did was teach them how to farm. I'm like, yeah, but a week ago I was like AFKing dungeons, and there was like a 10,000 updated Reddit thread calling me a villain and calling for my ban and stuff. And And that just makes me smile. It's a fun memory I'll be able to just carry with me forever. It's really neat, really fun memory. But with that said, also click the video on the right side of your screen, and if you don't, then your cat is going to smear its ass all over your floor after it takes a big shit in its litter box, and you're going to have to clean it up.